Hello everyone, my name is Susan Patterson and I am a national leader in the fight against human trafficking. And this is Karen Wyatt Coleman, who's been involved in the anti-human trafficking movement for over 22 years. We're creating this video for our National Faith Coalition meetings so that when people come, they have a basic understanding of what human trafficking is. Because at these meetings, we talk about what we can do about it. You can find information on the National Faith Coalition, the National Black Faith Coalition, and the National Hispanic Faith Coalition meeting against human trafficking at our website, throughgodsgrace.com.
Susan will provide the basic definition, and I will share with you what a trafficker does to approach and entice the children.
All right, so let's begin. All right, let's start with the basic definitions. Human trafficking is obtaining or maintaining the labor or services of another person through the use of force, fraud, or coercion. With a minor, law enforcement does not need to prove force, fraud, or coercion in order to convict the pimp of sex trafficking. With labor trafficking, law enforcement does need to prove force, fraud, or coercion because for minors, sometimes families are poor and they need their children to work, and that's not considered human trafficking. What about adult women selling themselves on Instagram? These are not human trafficking victims because there's no third party who's using force, fraud, or coercion. However, these women are putting themselves in immense danger because over half of them will be assaulted and or raped. Human trafficking is the fastest growing illegal enterprise in the United States. Academics predict that human trafficking will surpass drugs in size in a few short years, with over 80% of victims being U.S. citizens. One of the biggest challenges we have to raising awareness is that this issue is invisible because it's happening online. Experts estimate there are close to 400,000 to 600,000 victims. According to Dr. Melissa Farley, close to 84% of prostituted people are under third-party control. What this means is that there's a third party like a pimp or human trafficker who's benefiting financially from the transaction. Pimps can be any gender and any race. For the purposes of this video, we're going to be using the words pimp and human traffickers interchangeably because most pimps are human traffickers. There are three main approaches to sex trafficking with regard to how these pimps trick their victims. Let's look at the guerrilla pimp first, who uses mainly force. This is where we hear about the kidnappings, which is actually rare, but it does occur. Mainly where force is used is with the gangs. So, for example, in one case, they picked up this girl from her school, this high school girl who's very beautiful, took her to the school where her little brother went, and told her that if she didn't do everything they told her to do, they would kill her little brother. This is an example of force. The next example is the one that most people are familiar with, which is the Romeo pimp. This is the guy who meets the girl usually online or at a party and tells her, you know, she's the love of his life. He's texting her 50 times a day. So she falls madly in love. Once he has her trapped, where she's now convinced that she has met her soulmate and is emotionally bonded to him, they flip a switch and now coercion and force comes into play, where he tells her that if she doesn't do everything he tells her to do, she's going to be beat within an inch of her life. Then we have the CEO pimp. This is the pimp that entices his victims with money. So he may show up at a club and introduce himself as a music video producer and tell these women he's going to make them famous, and then they show up for their shoot. In one case, the pimp gave the woman a form to fill out where she put down her parents' name and address, her name and address, and then after she handed in the form, he told her that he now knew where her whole family lived, and if she didn't do everything he told her to do, he was going to kill her whole family. Another place they hang out is modeling chat rooms, pretending that they're going to make these women famous. Last but not least, this isn't a definition of a pimp, but this is an important definition, and that's a recruiter. What a recruiter is a young person who the pimp pays to be on the high school campus. They go to the high school or the college. And what they do is they trick young women into becoming victims for the pimp, with the most common ploy being, you're already doing it anyway. You might as well get paid for it. All right, now I'm going to turn it over to Karen, who's going to talk about exactly what they say, the different approaches they use to trick their victims.
Thank you, Susan. My job is to share with you what a human trafficker in the communities that I work with and the young women that I've approached and been mentoring over these years. So what it looks like, this trafficker is a pretender. And if you know what a pretender is, a pretender can be anything you want. So what the trafficker does, first of all, he's a promiser. He's going to promise these young people everything that they want. He's going to promise them, I'll buy you some Jordans, I'll get your hair done, I'll make sure your nails are done, keep you tight and, tight and right, talk their lingo, to be able to keep them enticed and to entice them. Second of all, they will become that provider. I will provide you with the things that I promised. I will provide you with the Jordans. I will provide you with the outfits. I will provide you with drugs. I'll make sure you get your weed. I'll make sure you get a weave. I'll make sure you looking tight. So he will do all those things because he's enticing them and wanting to get them involved. So the third thing that he can do, he becomes that protector. That protector is going to make sure that this young person, whether they're dealing with anything at home, if their mother is being even if it's an overly protective mom, or if it's an abusive dad, a verbally abusive, physically abusive, however it is, and someone at school, what he's going to do is make sure that he protects them. You know what? Your mama tripping on you? I got you, girlfriend. You know what? Girl, I got you. We're going to make sure that your mama, she ain't going to say much because you got me here. Or your daddy talking to you or abusing you. Oh, we're going to make sure we're going to make sure when he walk out that door, oh, we got you. Don't even trip, girl. I'm going to make sure you all right. And if it's somebody at school, oh, she talking about you? She tripping on you? Oh, she tripping? Oh, we got her. We gonna have somebody. My homeboy got her. Just tell me her name, where she live, and we make sure. And if he tripping on you, somebody tripping on you, we got him. So he's gonna protect her. He's gonna provide for her, and then he's gonna, as we said, he's gonna promise her these things. Third, the last and not least, is he becomes that punisher. Once she decides that she wants to leave, oh, I don't want to do this no more. I can't do this. No, I'm not feeling this. He's going to say, no, yes, you are. You're going to sleep with these 3. You're going to sleep with the next 2. Because if you don't, this is what's getting to happen. This is what's getting ready to happen, homegirl. You getting ready. Your mama, you told, she goes to work at 8, right? So what we going to do, I'm going to have one of my homeboys there. And when she steps out, this is what's getting ready to happen. Whether he runs a car or whatever he does, he's going to make sure that he's able to keep this young lady involved in the life, because he's going to do something very horrible to her mom. Then he says, okay, I got you. Then he starts beating them. He starts hitting her. Hitting her where it's not going to be seen, mind you. Even when she goes home, nobody's going to know that she was hit in the stomach, pinched on the side, cigarette butts in the back of her back, because she's hiding it from them. So remember that. So when we talk about why a person doesn't leave, look at the whole cycle. If you've been through that whole cycle with an individual, because remind you, it takes time to get there. It doesn't just happen overnight. He's grooming her. And once she's there, it's a done deal. And then if that gets even worse, he starts drugging her, and she's going to stay drugged up, keep her high, keep her into the life until he's getting tired of her, and that's, sometimes it never ends, and sometimes it does. So that's how the cycle goes.
If you would like more depth on this issue, you can go to our channel and watch the video on how the business of sex trafficking works, which is like a 1 or 2. Karen, and a survivor of human trafficking, will be doing a video on sex trafficking in the Black community. As you can tell, she's awesome. If you're a parent and you're now horrified by what you just heard, we have a video on how parents can protect their children with resources you can use, as well as information on how to block just about everything. Please do support our mission, which is to mobilize the community to fight human trafficking by subscribing to this channel and liking and sharing this video.
Thank you for watching.